Hey, I've got an 86 Grand National. I've been trying to figure out this power door lock issue I've been having since I've um, got the vehicle. Um, checked the forums, checked the obvious issues, the door um, lock switches, rolled those out, which I'll kind of give you a brief tutorial on how to kind of check one side or the other and hopefully show you guys kind of the way the wiring layout is under the dash and where to access the connectors and stuff. Um, so let's get started here. So first I'll show you guys the issue that I was having. So when I first got the car, the power door locks, couldn't get them to work, which is fine because I just manually locked and unlocked. Looking under the dash, I found that this cable was unhooked, and not knowing what it was, I took to the forums and got some wiring diagrams that were pretty helpful. So since I found out that powered the door locks, I plugged it in and to see what happened, and both sides, both the lock actuators keep doing the locking function on both sides. So thinking that it might have been the switch, I disconnected the switch. I'll show you how to do that. Let's unplug that to stop that from draining the battery too much. So we're on the driver's side. Here's the door lock switch, and you'll want to check this. I guess there's some corrosion problems sometimes with these switches, or they get gummed up or something. But what was weird in my issue is that the door lock switches seem to work just fine as far as activating the relay, which we'll see if we can get this to go. I don't know if you hear that clicking sound, but I'm doing the unlock and lock on the switch, and it is activating the relay, which I had also found out that the door locks here, though they get power separate from the actual locking actuators. So after you've cleared the switches to make sure there's no corrosion, what you can do is pull the switch connector off and remove the switch, and do one side at a time and see if your issue still occurs. If it stops with one side being disconnected, then more than likely it's probably a switch problem. But if your issue goes deeper like mine, you'll need to continue on troubleshooting, which the next step would be getting access to both sides kick panels that were here to get access to this large bulk connector, which this connector, and there's also a connector that does the window buttons that's also tucked into this little tiny cavity in here, and it was kind of a hassle to try to maneuver this big connector out of there, but once you get it out of there, you should have enough slack. You can start with disconnecting each side and just seeing if it either fixes your issue, or you continue on down the path of figuring out check the wiring. This side, the top portion, you can see there's two orange, which these switches operate in parallel, according to the diagram that I read. I couldn't get a real grasp on the diagram, so I kind of had to put eyes on actual physical to get a better idea on how it was set up. So there's two power. The orange ones, those are the two power that actually powers the door switches. And then you've got the other wires that come out of the door, the gray, the tan, which go to the locking actuator, and then the blue and the black, which go along with the orange wire to the switch. And that's the same on both sides, which I'll switch over to the passenger side here in a second and show you the connector on that side. So here we are on the passenger side. Once again, you got to kind of remove the side kick panel here and then kind of swing the ECU out of the way. Over here we actually got the door lock relay, where you've got both switches. Like I said, they kind of run in parallel here. In the power, here's the power, the other power that feeds the actuators. And then of course, we've got the other two connectors that were also similar situation on the other side in this tiny cavity, tiny hole. It was kind of a hassle to kind of fish these out, but once you do, you should have a little bit of slack to be able to work a little bit. And here's where I said they run in parallel, both the door lock switches. You can see they're doubled up here. The doubled up blue. Let me get some light here. The doubled up blue, black, gray, tan, and then the single orange wire, which feeds the switch connector. Okay. So another thing that I was reading on the forums, sometimes this accordion piece in between the door and the body, I guess there's some cable breakage that could happen in there. I was able to kind of move this part back to be able to expose. Here we go. Be able to pull that back and then kind of get a better look at the cables, and just to visually look at them to see if they're okay or questionable, as whether you want to dig deeper. Trying to get your hands in there, it's kind of tight. Another helpful thing that I was reading is, I don't know if you can see here, but I took some sandpaper. These door relays operate on, they need a ground that's attached to the body. So I took some sandpaper, kind of exposed the bare metal a little bit more to provide a better ground, but that didn't help my situation. I was kind of lost at that point, because I wasn't sure what other options I would have, because as of making this video, you can't really find a door lock relay that's still being produced today. So your only option is finding a used one, which I finally got around to going to a local pull-apart salvage place, and I was able to score a few, which, funny enough, it actually solved my problem. So I'm going to switch this one out real quick and show you guys. Here's a better shot of those power door lock relays. The one on the right, that was the one that was in the car and was causing me problems. If you look at it, it looks brand new, nice and shiny, zero corrosion. And for the longest time, I didn't think it was the relay, because I kept, after forum of reading, I kept reading if you use the power door switches on both sides and you hear it clicking, then the relay was good. So I was hesitant to go try to find or even buy a used relay, because I wasn't sure if that was going to fix my problem. Alright, sorry about that. There was a dog out there that was pretty excited. So back to the power door lock relays. the mounting brackets are different. When I got out there, they didn't have any Monte Carlos. I was essentially looking for something, the GM 80s, that had a similar HVAC box in the engine bay. And as soon as I saw one, I would go and check to see if it had power door locks. If it did, I would snag the relay. I think I got this one off. I think it was a Cutlass. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know it was a sedan of some sort, but as you can see, the mounting bracket is straight versus the one that was on the car originally. So I'm gonna have to probably drill a new hole for that and tap it. But just so if you're out there, there are different makes and models of the GMs that come with these. So I'm gonna put the this other working one in real quick and show you guys the final result. All right, I got the new relay, not the new one, used, the known good one, I guess I should say, hooked up, strapped to the passenger side. So here's the moment of truth. I'm going to reconnect that power to the relay, see what happens. There's nothing happening. That's good. I'll take that. Okay, so I'll do a test here on the switch. Let's see. Lock. Unlock. All right, how about that? So my issue was a questionable power door lock relay. I hope this video kind of give you some insight on kind of what to look for, maybe some little things you can do to try to rule out what it might be. Until next time, next video should be coming shortly. Catch you guys later.